Kenzie, welcome to the show. We'll let you go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you.
My name is Kenzie Crooke. I go to Heritage Christian School. I'm a sophomore and I'm 15 years old. I run for Soka Speed Track Club. And do you want me to say my events?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. I do have heptathlon, triple jump. I do long jump, 100 and 300 hurdles, and a little bit of high jump just for like my multi.
Okay. So you do a lot of you do a little of a lot.
Yes. Yes. Yes, I do.
I like.
Why don't you share with us some of your accolades, right? Like what have you been able to accomplish either in the the hurdles, a little bit of high jump? Share with us, brag on yourself a little bit.
I'd say one of my more recent is freshman year at state. I got eight in the 300 hurdles, and I'm a three-time national champion in Junior Olympics for Soka,
Okay.
and I'm a 12-time All-American.
Okay. Those aren't little accomplishments. So, Kenzie, how did you become interested in track?
Well, my mom ran, my dad ran, and I remember I was 7 years old, 2016. I was in first grade. It was my birthday, April 15th. And my parents were like, "You have track practice." I was like, "Are you kidding me?" I was not a fan. I hated it because, wait, this is funny. Because we had to run a 400 for our warm up. I literally cried the
Oh,
whole round. I hated it so much. I did not want to run track. I would have literally done anything not to run. But the next year after that, I really liked it. And now I just kept it going.
oh. So it's clear that your parents are supportive, i.e., having you
Yes.
run. Why don't you shout out the parents?
Yes.
Um,
Shout
again,
out
yeah.
to my parents,
What are their names?
Julie and Val.
Yes. And do they also coach do they coach at all at Heritage Christian or with the summer
Yes.
team? Yes. Okay. Okay.
My parents started Soka Speed, and
Okay.
then my mom is kind of like the team manager. So
Mhm.
she like puts all the times in for the meets, and then my dad does a little bit of all the events for coaching as well as school track. He coaches.
Awesome.
Nice. Now, the elephant in the room, you have the same last name. How is it being Kaya's little sister?
I mean, it's good. Sometimes people are a little, at school, just kind of like, well, Kaya does this, you do that. But I feel like people haven't seen what I'm gonna do yet, you know?
Yes, I love it. I
I
love it.
He's
like.
older than me. My coaches always remind me, like, I'm my own person.
Yes.
I have my own accomplishments. Just doesn't matter what people are saying. That doesn't mean I haven't accomplished them and that they're not great things. And I still have more to come. It's not the end.
That's awesome. I think that's really great that you're recognizing that even as a little sister, you don't have to live in your big sister's shadow, right? And you have your own accolades and things that you can focus on to help you stand out separate from that. So that's super dope. That your coaches are instilling you that in you slash parents and everyone else around you. So that's great. What would you say has been your biggest inspiration in the sport?
I like Sydney McLaughlin a lot. She
Okay.
is.
Yes.
I love watching her run. I watch her. I just watched her in this Olympics. And it's
Yes.
amazing. I love after every race, she gives God the glory and she thanks
Mm,
him. She's always reminding us how she never could have done it without him. And it's just really good to look up to another athlete who just has a good relationship with Jesus.
that's awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, well, going back to what you were saying about being your own athlete, like we kind of had an eye on you early on. Like we knew, they're like,
Yes.
everybody was talking about your sister, and they're like, she's got a little sister though. You got to watch
Really.
her.
Yeah.
And like you were the one with the hurdles and everything else, and
Mhm.
we had a
Yeah.
chance to see you beat up on a few people we know.
Right.
We do have
I've
the
gone on a few college visits with Kaya. I went to Kentucky and Cincinnati. And they're like, "Do you do anything?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "Well, future, we'll be looking." I'm like, "Thank you."
yeah. Well, for you to triple jump, that's impressive considering that the state of Indiana doesn't
Hmm.
really do
Yeah.
that for outdoor. However, indoor, I hear this year there's going to be a couple meets that have triple jump. Um,
Yes, and that's my favorite event, so I'm excited for that.
Awesome.
it's mine as well.
Yes. Coach lives for the triple jump. He
It's
loves it when
it's
athletes like, you ever try triple jump? So
yeah. I mean, it's fun to watch. It's fun to
yes,
yeah. It's a great one to watch. It's fun to coach. And
especially when you do it right. Yeah, it's yeah.
yeah. So what's been your so far? You've had a lot of good. You're 12-time All-American. What's been like one of your favorite memories when it comes to track and field?
My favorite memory was my first Junior Olympics. I got eighth in long jump. I
Mhm.
remember I was eight. It was in Kansas. It was in Kansas City. And I like my first jump, it was just okay. My second jump, I scratched and I was like, darn it. And my third jump, I jumped like 11.4 in a little bit. And I got eighth, and I remember being on the podium, and I was just so excited. And all the
Yeah,
like big kids, like all like the kids my age, I just thought they were like so much older than me. They were probably like 15 years old. They're like, "Oh my goodness, good job! That medal's so cool!" And I was just, it just made me feel so good about myself.
that's awesome. That's a great memory.
Right.
Along with impressionable to be on the big stage at such a young age. That's super cool.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Yeah.
would you say, Kenzie, is one of the most challenging things about being a student athlete?
One of the most challenging, I'd say the homework overload.
Hmm.
Some days it's hard because, more like most days, I get up at 6, I leave the house. Well, I'm supposed to leave at 7. We leave at like 7:30. You leave the house at 7. School starts for me at 8:10. It ends at 8:30. And then we have practice from 4. Well, during track season, practice from 4 to 5:30, 6-ish.
Hmm.
And then drive home. I feel like I'm doing homework till sometimes even 12, 1, 2, just kind of depends. And then I've, of course, got to eat dinner, shower, get ready for bed. And then I feel like I do it all over again the next day. So
Hmm.
it's kind of like the cycle, but I feel like I've learned to use my time and
Hmm.
use my study halls. I take a lot of those during school
Hmm.
and try to use my time wisely to get that homework done so that I don't have to do it later that night.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Would you
That
say there are a
makes,
lot of sacrifices you had to make being the student athlete?
I feel like one of the things for me was being busy. My
hmm.
friends, they're always going out to the mall, to haunted houses, always, sometimes we even do like little like drive up vacation trips to
Oh, wow.
Michigan Beach. And I felt like I was always missing out because I had either track meet, track practice, literally anything. That's the biggest sacrifice for me because all I want to do is hang out with my friends.
So how have you navigated that challenge, right? Are your friends understanding of it, or like you missing
Yeah,
out? Do
all
they
my friends are
support?
athletes.
Okay,
So
good.
they don't really do track. I have some that do track, but
Hmm.
my school friends, I have a lot that do soccer, volleyball, and obviously we don't practice as much. Maybe they don't practice as much, or just not have the same schedule. But with all my friends being athletic, it's hard to find a time where we can all hang out at the same time.
Hmm. But that's cool. At least they get it, right?
Yeah, they get
That
it. Good
helps.
thing.
That
Yeah.
helps.
Wow. So with you being in all these big competitions and stuff like that, how would you say how do you mentally prepare for these types of events?
One of my coaches, Coach Vic, he talks about this all the time. He likes us to visualize us competing before we actually compete. Whether that's, sorry, this is connected to my mom's phone too. She's getting a call, but whether that's like before we go to bed and competing the next morning, sleeping and just like envisioning ourselves competing or driving on the way there to the meet or even at the meet. He wants us to take time to just relax, calm ourselves, and just visualize us competing and having that power and strength and energy that he wants us to do when we're actually out there.
Awesome. How do you feel that's helped your confidence, if at all, being able to, mentally prepare and visualize before the actual track meet?
Yes, so my family is very good at supporting me, as well as my track club.
Hmm.
We all just feel like we're a big family. So it's really nice to have a bunch of my coaches just on there boosting up my confidence, even if I didn't do as well as I wanted to. They always let me know that it's okay and that it's not finished yet and my work's not done and I still have greater things to come. So that really just gives me a big confidence boost, but also just putting my trust in God and letting Him take control.
So you
Nice.
talked about your parents and your village and your coaches helping you navigate, like maybe if you didn't perform well. And so um how do you look at wins and losses in the grand scheme of how you uh, move forward or compete?
Obviously, winning is a good feeling, but it's not everything. I think PRing is more important than getting a first place medal. And losing, I always have that mindset that it's not finished yet. There's still
Mhm.
more to come. And there's, I just not a fan of giving up, of course, but I just feel like, people kind of say it's like, don't give up, but seriously, don't give up. You got to keep going for your goal. And just because you didn't do good one time doesn't mean you're not going to do good the next.
So what are your thoughts on what separates a good athlete from a great athlete?
I think a good athlete, of course, practices. That doesn't mean that they're giving it their 100% like a great athlete would. And I feel that like I mean giving 100% is what makes you a great athlete. Just because you're showing up at practice doesn't mean that you're gonna reach your full potential from running the 200 at 100% speed than running it at 50. You're not gonna get better if you're not trying your best.
Mhm.
Mm. What would you
So how
say?
oh,
Oh, what would you
you go,
say
coach?
makes you like a great teammate?
I try to put my teammates above myself. And I love one of my favorite things is cheering them on. I love holding their blocks and especially the little ones on the club team. Just when they come give me a big hug after I'm done competing. I feel like we're always there for each other and I like to be a good like role model for them. And just my favorite thing is definitely cheering. Even though my voice is like, usually gone the next day, that's my favorite thing about track is cheering on my teammates.
So how do you, it sounds like you're an amazing teammate, right? And so how do you, you talk about the joy that you have from track and field because there's that individual side of it. And so how do you balance the team goals with your individual goals?
Well, obviously, you know, putting others before yourself is good, but you also got to set out some time for yourself. So, yeah, I practice with the team, but I also do some of my own things, whether that's at
Mhm,
home, just doing like quick ab workout or pull-ups, push-ups, or just going out to the track to do some run-throughs. I do some extra practice to
mhm,
try to get my
mhm,
own goals, but obviously team goals, team sport, all trying to get points, like contribute to my team, whether that's school track where you gotta do a bunch of events to earn points. I do that for my team, but also to get better for myself. So I feel like it
mhm.
all kind of comes together.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That's a good balance for sure.
Yeah.
It is. Now, if you could compete in any other sport, what would it be?
Okay, I've actually been waiting for this one because I used to be a gymnast from
Oh,
Really?
a
cool.
little baby, from like a little toddler to fourth grade. I did competitive gymnastics. And I quit because the coaching was kind of a problem.
Mm,
But if I could do another sport besides track, I definitely do gymnastics because it's cool. Like, you
yeah,
watch those girls flip in the Olympics, you're like, oh my goodness, how do they do that? That's what
yeah.
I thought. That's why I wanted to do it. But yeah, if I could do anything, definitely do gymnastics. It's fun. And my favorite thing is the leotards because they're sparkly, of course. That's my top reason.
So you're trying to get the coaches to have more bedazzled track
Yes,
uniforms, right?
I would love to design a track uniform. I would make it a little shorter with some sequins, sparkling. I feel like I'd run so much faster like that. I might
Right.
have to do some convincing here.
It's sounding good. It's sounding great right now.
Yes. Wait, watch me. I'm gonna make my own uniform. I got a good idea now. Come on.
I mean, if you think about pole vaulters, and a lot of them say, "Oh, I used to do gymnastics," so that'll be probably the closest thing. Which I'm sure your coaches will be like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you have the flexibility dynamics. But I mean, maybe you have a chance with the bedazzle uniform for a club,
That
Yeah, I
for your
hope so.
club team, like
that may
even your
work.
hoodies or like the warm ups.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Something. I need a little sparkle out there on the field.
Oh
Looking a
man.
little bland.
So if we
You're
start
right.
seeing you with the bedazzled bows in your hair, we know you're trying to bring a little of the gymnast
Yes. Yes.
inspiration to us.
Mhm.
You know
Now
what?
for
We can't wear jewelry though. That's like one of my favorite accessories. In gymnastics, I didn't get to do that. I couldn't have nail polish. I couldn't have earrings,
Hmm.
bracelets, nothing. For
That's
track, you
true.
can go all out, and that's definitely one of my favorite things.
Hmm.
well
Yes,
there you go. Now,
yes.
what do you do? Like you've been like competing the way you do. What do you do to stay healthy? Like physically, spiritually, all the things. How do you stay healthy and
Well, big thing is diet, of
Hmm.
course. I know Dr. Ware doesn't like McDonald's, so I limit my McDonald's intake, of course. But I make fuel good before meets. Not just like the day of, but my coaches always talk about preparing before. So
Hmm.
definitely the night before, I have some spaghetti, some electrolytes. Here, I have one right here. Liquid IV. I drink this all the time. Even when I don't compete, I take a health class at school. She's always talking about water, your water intake all the time. And
Yes.
she's a big fan of liquid IV. So I always have one in my backpack in hand. I love it. That's definitely my favorite thing.
That's
okay.
awesome. You have a routine. Nutrition is important, right? And you talk to a lot of student athletes at this age, they don't eat that great. So hearing when a
Yeah.
student athlete actually does like think about what they're eating and are intentional about it, that's really a big deal.
Yeah. It's a huge deal. Yeah,
Yes, I know you know a lot about that.
I
All right,
Right. I'm
do.
like,
Kenzie.
I do. I'm
I'm
so proud of you right now.
yeah, like he's smiling with you, like he, you see how he brightened up when you said, "Oh, like, oh yeah, well, what have you been eating? No more McDonald's?"
I know. Some of the things I hear on these calls.
Yeah,
Yes,
now
yes.
I need to give Kai a little pep talk about that.
You
Uh-oh, uh-oh.
do. You do.
Yeah,
We
you know.
I
Smack the
tried. Yeah.
smack the fries out of her hand.
Oh,
So
Yes.
Kenzie, how
I
do you
also don't
think?
drink soda. I don't
Oh,
drink
that's
soda.
really now that's a big one. That's really good. That's
I'm a
really
fan of sparkling water though. That's my alternative.
yeah,
you're,
yeah,
you're my new favorite person.
yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
He's gonna have some for you at the office when you come in.
Yes, I have some snacks ready for me. Thank you.
Oh man.
What, Kenzie, what life skills do you feel being a student athlete, especially from a young age, will how will these experiences be applicable to you as an adult or as you one day transition into a different career, if so?
Definitely sportsmanship.
Hmm.
That goes for anything, whether it's like online game, gotta have good sportsmanship, or when I'm a parent and have kids, maybe my kids are doing sports. I need to have good sportsmanship towards those other parents because I'm
Yes,
competitive. Obviously, everybody likes to win, but I
yes,
think sports is a big thing.
it is
Like,
very good.
just because it's hard to go against some other competitors when they don't have good sportsmanship. It makes me not want to have good sportsmanship. But I think I've got it down now.
Yeah, you want to match that energy when they're not working.
Yeah.
Oh man. So, well, speaking of sportsmanship, how do you handle like constructive criticism and that type of feedback?
I feel like I kind of just let it blow past me and kind of like, just because one person says something, that can't do anything to me, you know? I feel like maybe when I was younger, I used to have some trash talkers out there on the line, but
Mhm,
I think it's
mhm,
okay now. We've
Okay.
kind of become like for the heptathlon, all the girls are really good friends because we're
mhm,
there 2 days together.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
And it's kind of hard to hang out with someone 48 hours and you got to
Yeah.
see them for 2 days straight. You can't be enemies. So I feel like we're all kind of good friends. And I feel like since we're older, people are less like rude. I feel like you kind of matured,
Yeah.
learning that it's better to have a friend than an enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now you're.
Sorry.
I'm
If it's
just
my
just
mom's phone, so it's ringing, I don't have to turn it off.
just going back to something. You're only 15,
Yes.
and you're a sophomore, right?
Yes, I'm a sophomore.
So you're young.
Yes, I am.
But I'm saying you've well I'm saying this because you have like a what we call in track and field a tremendous upside to be somebody at so young competing at the level that you're competing at, and then
Hmm.
to have the maturity level that you do where you're not eating McDonald's and you're not
Yes.
all at the other places like
Thank you.
that's impressive. And I'm like I think you have a lot more growing to do, even
Hmm.
like from a
Yeah.
physical standpoint, and you already do all these different events. Where do you see yourself going in terms of track and field as a sport? Because it seems like the door is wide open for you
Hmm.
because you're a
Yes.
heptathlete and you've already medaled as a freshman in state. So, yeah, where do you see this going for you? Or where would you like it to go?
I definitely, well, I kind of got a heads up sneak peek of all the colleges since Kai is making her decision. But like, I went on 2 trips and I liked them a lot.
Hmm.
But I definitely want to run track in college. I'm really excited about that. Hearing my family talk about it, they talk about it every day for Kaya, but just it makes me excited. I'm so excited for when I'm a senior and I get to make that decision. But I 100% want to run track in college and maybe even go do a little more after that. Who knows?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Sounds good to
Absolutely.
me.
What are you looking forward to this upcoming track season?
This season for school, it's 300 hurdles. So, okay, I can't quite remember. I think I ran a 45:01. And I saw that clock, I was excited, but I was like so close to 44. I want that 44 so bad.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's like my main thing for like the school season. So like April,
Mm.
May. I really want that 44 in the 300 hurdles. And then for club, I'd say I would like to medal in the in Junior Olympics because I did the HEP this year in summer. In my region, I didn't do so hot in long jump. My marker's all off, so I got bumped out and I missed the spot to get out of the region. But then we looked at the national, like their points, and I would have got top 8.
Mm.
So that feeling when I was, you're so close, but you're so
Yes.
far. I
Yeah.
feel like I came across that a few times, but you
Yeah.
know.
Those are
But
some
I
great
really
things.
love to get that heptathlon. That was my first time doing it too. So I love to get the
Oh, wow.
heptathlon medal.
That's great.
Yeah. Huh.
Mm.
That's impressive. Now, if you had anything to share with like somebody younger, just getting involved with track and field, what would probably be the one piece of advice you wanted to give them?
Well, obviously I do a lot of events, as we heard. So I would definitely say trying out everything and then picking out your favorites because you never know what you're going to be best at. My
Mhm.
parents basically had me do everything, even the 800, and I hated that. But I did that for the pentathlon, and I learned that I'm not doing that.
This
So
is not my
I'd say,
jam.
yeah, no, thank you. But I'd say trying out everything and seeing what you're best at, but also seeing what you enjoy.
Mhm. Mhm.
Nice.
Awesome. And Kenzie, if the viewers wanted to follow you on any social media platforms, what social media platforms could they keep up with you this year and your successes?
I have literally every social media you could think of. And it's all Kenzie Crooke, KenziecRooke, with no spaces. See, I made it easy, not complicated at all. Yeah, I thought about that beforehand because I was like, should it be Kenzie.Crooke? I was like, no, you got to keep it simple because somehow it's going to get messed up. Very basic.
I
Right
love
on.
I love
Kenzie,
that.
this has been great. We'll
Yes,
have to have you back.
absolutely.
Dr. Bear, I have one question for you, okay?
Okay.
Oh,
Which Crook sister is your favorite? I
oh,
need to know.
That would be
oh,
you.
the
That would be you.
pressure.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Oh,
you so
wow.
much.
Wow.
Now I will be there on next Monday. I will be there on Monday now. Make sure you have my sparkling water ready.
Right, I got you. I got you.
I
All right.
love it.
And there's a small rumor going around that there may be an indoor meet with with triple jump this year.
Yeah,
If there's one thing I could change about track, that would be it. Triple jump in
yes,
Indiana. That would
yes,
literally be my dream, my favorite event. I would
yes,
absolutely love that.
yes. Screaming from the mountaintops. I'm
Right.
with
Yeah.
you. Yes,
All right.
yes,
Well, you have a good one. We
yes. Thank you, Kenzie.
Thank
It
you.
was nice
Thank you
speaking
for
with
having
you.
me.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely.
have a good one.